that time to practice is over, Pyro.
It's game on here again. Loyola Marymount University here in red. We've got Northern Arizona University there in blue. Loyola Marymount coming in as your number 4 seed. NAU as your 5. This is as close of a matchup, at least in theory and on paper, that we could draw up for you.
Absolutely, absolutely. We got Double, we got Killer Moth, and we got Pufferfish Guy here for Loyola Marymount. Car, Chronicle, and Beast. Some familiar names over here for the Northern Arizona University. If we're talking about cool names, I'm saying Loyola is taking the dub in that one.
How do you not root for Pufferfish Guy? You know what I mean? like, you read that name and you're like, yeah, I want to see something out of him. You might see it out of Killer Moth here. Shot on the counterattack coming through. And by the way, did you see the passing play? I'm already getting amped about it, Tugboat. Teammates finding each other, especially from the LMU side, trying to get that synergy rolling early.
Yeah, so a little bit of feeling out here, just kind of a first date between these two teams, trying to see exactly what the other team is made of. Gonna be an even-handed split as of right now. No scores on board. We'll get this right back to you guys. Don't worry about it. Well, you're taking a look at the stats as of right now. Killer Moth, only shot attempted in this game so far, and we're back. Sorry about that, folks. Triple commit from Loyola, and I'll say that I think that was Chronicle coming in that one, and it seemed like that was a little bit more of an open net, Pyro.
It did, and those are the kind of shots that you want to see actually go through, but I think there will be many more opportunities for defenses and offenses to get around situations like those and creating them as well. 2 moments will come forth here. Oh, in this best of 5, this being one of them. I don't think Carr could get out of the way of his teammate's shot there, and then unfortunately getting demoed on his way back.
I think it's 4 or 5 demos. I'm going to stop trying to keep track of that one, because I'm not sure if I count that high, Pyro. A very aggressive, physical match so far between these two universities. Ball going back the other way. Here's to the middle. Just kind of hanging out back and forth. All is on vacation. To the corner we go as Northern Arizona is just trying to get this out and inside to the others. Half of this pitch. I mean, that's a lot easier said than done, though. Every single time they hoist this back on over, there's somebody here from Loyola Marymount who's just waiting in the wings. By wings, I mean half pitch.
They're certainly waiting. They're trying to get the midfield territory. One thing I want to see out of LMU, though, is to push a little bit farther. Players are feeling a little too comfortable going back towards their defensive end. Look at them make a ruckus, though, near the net. Gotta dodge and find it the other way, though, is NAU.
Finally, now will this be the floodgate here for Northern Arizona Chronicle? Certainly a name from which lofty Rocket League expectations are established. See if that continues. 20 seconds past halftime for our first score.
Tragic scenario there for LMU, though. You want to push everybody up, like I was mentioning, right? Everyone's going back to their own territory for boost. Now you've got all 3 pushing and then no one on defense. Finding that balance can be so difficult in Rocket League.
It really can. It really can. And I think that's just kind of the result of, up to that point, Loyola not bending at all. Like, they had all 3 players up there. They're playing defense and whatnot. And then Northern Arizona just had to pour everything into that one. Well, it worked. Fantastic stuff.
Worked for now, but what else can they produce while they have this ball on the offensive side? Carr, 1 touch out to the side. LMU keen to pounce on it. But establishing dominance in their own corner is Beast. Getting a good 50-50 to clear it away. NAU stealing boost now. Beast taking all the resources for himself. Resource management certainly favoring NAU, especially as they move down the court here. He's looking for that read off the corner. Will tap it off towards the net. Pufferfish Guy, though, spending time, taking time, making sure that defense is set.
Double just goes for the second tap right there. To the corner we go, and it's going to be interrupted by Beast getting a claw onto it. We'll call it a fake there for the Northern Arizona player, as this is still lofting. Very dangerous. Okay, Beast off the wall right now, and that's actually kind of serves this up to a Loyola member. Shots upon shots right here. Just offensive onslaught for Loyola Marymount as of right now.
We're down to that last half minute. So for LMU, we've seen the risk taken and they were punished for it. How can you take that risk in a calculated effort to make that first goal go in?
just spreading the field, honestly, right now. That's exactly what LMU is doing. That's exactly what they need to do. They need this tying factor. 15 seconds to go. They will have, like, you know, their own little mini overtime once clock strikes 0. But as it is, they're not really being given a whole lot right now. Pufferfish, the backside, gets over to double. That is decently centered, and that's inside for a tying factor.
Unbelievable! The clutch factor comes through on land. Pufferfish to double, and the give and go right back, bouncing in for the tie game.
Fantastic stuff. If Pufferfish also just goes for the initial touch and then abandons it, this does not go in. Northern Arizona wins 1-0 in game numero uno. And this is not an overtime. But hey, the boys were right. The boys were right. Keegan, horrible puns. Absolutely terrible puns, but fantastic predictions.
I'm sure he's geeking. So excited to see game 1 now in OT off a 2-second goal. Is this goal gonna find its way in? Trying as they may, Loyola barely get that out, and wonderful control coming from Pufferfish guy on that air dribble pinch from the sidewall to defuse the situation. Now double looking for another scenario to find their way out of.
It's kind of funny that you see both teams. Yeah, they get to overtime, and then like the offensive and defense, or the offensive efforts, like that's not too high. But that is Chronicle. Man, oh man, you could have cued the Jaws music as he is flying through the air. I mean, you know what he's going to try to do. He knows what he's going to try to do. The only question remained was it going to hit? And Chronicle hits both here. Both scores for Northern Arizona and gets it done in overtime.
Couldn't even begin to describe how important that goal is for Chronicle, and just the rebound that we saw there out of Northern Arizona University. It's so deflating to have the only goal conceded in the last 2 seconds and have to go to overtime. Those boys responded quickly, and Tugboat, out of that first minute of overtime, they dominated completely until Loyola Marymount couldn't hold on any longer.
No, they could not. No, they could not. Given that it was Chronicle with 2 goals, I think it's easier to look at this and be like, oh, Northern Arizona's offense is all around Chronicle. Well, we have 4 total shots from the other players as well. 8 total shots there, distributed pretty much as evenly as you can. 10 total shots on the other side. Fantastic back ahead right there. Right. We're going to be looking at Northern Arizona, Loyola Marymount 2-1 in game number 1. Now, the question only remains, how many overtimes did they predict? Did it say 2 overtimes? I can't exactly remember.
I think Keegan said at least 3, so he's holding out for a long series and as many overtimes as we could possibly see. Talk about, I'm ready for it. Clearly, the players are ready for it, but is LMU ready for it? Because while they did push to OT, they really struggled to gain control of the game since the first kickoff. They were a little bit frail on the defensive end. So when we get into game 2, I want to see them establish a better defense. NAU, they're not going to have it.
How does Beast... Oh, so this is just a hit back and a perfect read from the defender. Almost a block from the teammate right there. I believe that was Carr. Player's name we have not said too much of, but hey, another Northern Arizona player gets on the board. It was Chronicle with both regular time and overtime goals. The 2 goals Northern Arizona got before. So, see if the theme continues here. Northern Arizona strikes first.
They do, and maybe they're looking to strike again. How about this counterattack formulating? Pass downfield, incorporating all 3 players. Find the end of the net. Pufferfish guy up for the shot, aiming for that 4 post, and it's Killer Moth to get the read off the rebound.
There you go, Loyola kind of pulling their own game right here, and well, if the prediction's overtime after 30 seconds or so, looking pretty good right now. 1-1. No team's going to be shut out of the second game of this best of 5 here at the CEC West. Rocket League.
Killer Moth, that, I just gotta say it, Tugboat, that read off the far post was unbelievable. They're gonna get another one here. Look at them breaking down NAU right now.
Nicely done. Yep, and Pufferfish, guys, that's gonna be, the second across 2 different maps here for this Loyola Marymount player. 2-1. We'll see if Loyola is able to keep this lead. Only 1... Oh, goodness. Oh, my goodness. Off a kickoff here again from Northern Arizona.
Oh, this one hurts. It hurts. You want to cheat up for the kickoff, but that is the risk that you take. Pufferfish guy just could not hold on. I gotta tell you, Tugboat, for this CECC West Regional, this has to be some of the closest Rocket League on land that we have seen. We got an overtime. These teams refuse to not have a tied game. This is as close as you can cut it.
Yeah, I mean, we got about a minute or so of overtime, so 6 minutes, 3 scores. We already have 4, and now we are 1 minute into this competition. If that doesn't tell you how quickly the offensive efforts for both of these squads has immediately gotten turned up and turned on, well, I don't know what else is going to paint that picture. Double. A little bit of a back pass here. Pufferfish guy already gotten 1 on the day. Shot over here. That's not going to be on point by any means, but hey, forcing hands of defender's never a bad thing.
No, not whatsoever. And at times you really want to bait the other team to come on into your territory just to burn them on the other end. But I'm not trying to do that here. A beautiful cross in front of the net. Unfortunately, no teammate there, but they're there now. No positioning available. Execution, not so much. LMU finding chances on the passing plays, yet can't get that shot to go.
On board now. Here's Carr. Nice cut right there. Tries to put this down in the middle. And even the second hit against Pufferfish guy not going to happen as easily as this ball now. Seems like it wants to set up shop. The other side for Northern Arizona as they assume their own offensive drive. From the corner, just trying to get this pass, but that's a lot easier said than done. You're talking about double on the other side. Carr gets served one up and cruises into the 3rd goal for Northern Arizona.
Disgusting from Carr. That's why we call it Carr soccer. Not because of the vehicles, because of this guy right here. K-A-R, top corner, slotted for the lead.
Okay, so perhaps a return to normalcy if you're Northern Arizona. At least that's how you're going to feel it is. Loyola enjoyed a mild lead for a little while. See if they can get this one tied back up. 6 seconds before halftime. And where's this to? What has drawn up so far to be a very high-scoring Rocket League game for a second. On board with Beast, that's a little tipper right there as they immediately get demolished. Loyola, give a little numbers advantage for a couple seconds.
I will say I am enjoying the style of Rocket League that we're seeing out of NAU. Great save there. Good recovery off the backboard as well. But for me, for LMU, they've had passes in the center of the field that just haven't had a shot taker. For NAU, they've almost always got someone leaping up for it. Now, have they missed a couple shots because I think they're trying to outpace themselves on some of these plays? Yes. But it's better to have someone there in case the shot does go in and make sure there's all the pressure on LMU.
I can get that. I can get that. Speaking of LMU, leave a player back. Barely gets to it as Pufferfish boy. They're going to inflate themselves to get up to that ball. And he'll be really, really happy for it, too, because a 2-score difference is not what we've seen in this competition so far. Is that on point? No, it is not! Top bar out. Pufferfish has possession.
You gotta be kidding me! The crossbar was singing their praises earlier on, but this time it denies them. They'll still search for another opportunity here as Chronicle skies up for the shot and decimate it. On the other side, actually that demo kind of favoring NAU. Didn't have any boost, and now he regains boost and positioning on the defense for the counterattack. I mean, you've got to really be decisive on those demolitions if you are LMU. Now they've got the shot opportunity. Unbelievable read there for Pufferfish.
Unbelievable. These are such tough angles. That's why you always have to respect these kinds of shots. Coming off of wall, yeah, I mean, if this is a little bit farther to the right, it's hit off by sidebar. But yes, hey, perfectly slotted. 3-3 game. We had 3 scores in an overtime game. Game number 1. We are going to have at least 7 here for game number 2. That's not even really counting overtime as far as total time allotted.
As far as the overtime time that Keegan already told us the plot of what's to happen. He's got all the notes on the game. But who's worked on the note-taking, the adaptations necessary for this game? Will it be NAU to still take this aggressive approach of demos and shots wherever they can find them? Will it be LMU to punish them on their chances? It is so close here, but Double does have the read on the other side. That one landing in, and the punishment does indeed come through.
Double gonna get their first goal of this series. here for Loyola Marymount. Some fantastic stuff. Haven't talked about them too much. Well, we might be talking about them a whole lot if that is the ultimate difference in this game number 2. NAU took the first one in overtime by a single score. LMU looking to give them back the same thing that was dealt to them. Solid shot attempt. Now the second effort, too high. And the third one, beast once again.
I can't believe this. NAU just refused to die, and this time it's off the hands of Beast. He's clawed his way back to this game.
Fantastic stuff. Beast now with 2 in this one. Every Northern Arizona member has a goal, as does Loyola Marymount. I gotta say, the differences to try to draw between these two squads is getting thinner and thinner by the second. Oh, that could have been something beautiful, man. No, they're just content to go to overtime. That could have been it right there. Hey, Keegan, if you can hear me, good job, bud. Good job. I'm not talking about your puns.
Giving him a pat on the back, but there's no rest assured for these teams. Not right now. They have to earn that pat on the back with another overtime goal. NAU did it in the last game, and that was off of dominance, control. This time it seems a little more even-handed. Shot getting doinked there by Pufferfish. Killer Moth actually bailing them out as that was going to go in front of the net. Double no read on the corner. Shot there from Carr is going to miss, and pass gets deflected by Killer Moth.
Fourth shot attempt right there. Could have had the opportunity, excuse me, to close this one out in a relatively short overtime situation. Hey, those types of angles yielded quickly or rather hard sometimes, rather difficult. I completely understand. Beast playing that back position right here. The comms come in. It is, hey, we've lost possession. Back up and back up now. Dangerous situations if Loyola. Okay, so possession just kind of given over right there. Not challenged whatsoever when the defense was not in the position. Okay.
You talk about some of those challenging efforts, and at times one of the most challenging things is to read your own team. You know, put the ball in the position that you think they will be. Speaking of which, there was an NAU player there in front of the net. They may have had the Game 2 winner. You do still have Carr pushing up forward. Killer Moth, the defense is ready to receive this and pumps away. What a clear down the line. Chronicle's going to look for the bomb, however, cannot land it. LMU looking much more resilient in this overtime.
Much more. Stretching the pitch just like a lot more as well. Not willing to be hyper aggressive and just give this one up. Hey, if you're Loyola, you got to feel this too. Like going down, I mean, down by 5, down by 1, overtime doesn't really matter. The result being the same in these best of 5s right now. Dropping here is going to make it so much harder for them to come back. A reverse sweep required without dropping a single game. That's decently centered, but Northern Arizona's all over it.
And he'll put that ball in no man's land to Pufferfish guy, getting there in time for a touch, but much more than that. Killer Moth back down here to Pufferfish as it's high lob to the other side. I feel like LMU, they're kind of giving away these chances once they get possession, and if they don't find a game plan to score soon, it's going to be too late.
It's decently high, but I feel like we've seen a couple of those wide sweeping shot attempts here. Both teams just trying to take, just trying to take pot shots from mid pitch right here, and it's just going to be really, really hard at these higher levels of Rocket League to actually get that one in. But if they're content to do it, then hey, strap in, settle down, order some McDonald's on the app, right? Because we might be here for a while.
That sounds amazing, actually. Might grab some chicken for myself right now, but this one is a bombs away from Carr, and he's eating good.
Wow, a bomb.com right here, perfectly hit. That's not a shot attempt from mid pitch. That's a pass. 5-4 here for Northern Arizona as they put a second one up. Oh, sorry. As they put a second one up against Loyola right here. 2-1 in game number 1, 5-4 in game number 2, Pyro.
They got the ice. They're in overtime. I mean, what other way can you say it? Now, I did criticize LMU a little bit because I was like, they were getting their chances in OT. How are they not scoring? And those high passes weren't connecting. Little did I realize it would be a high pass near the ceiling to convert a shot. So I think LMU, they might have had the right ideas. It just came down to execution, Tugboat. And in that sense, Northern Arizona had the leg up.
Oh, absolutely. Taking a look as of right now. Yeah, every goal here on the side of Northern Arizona Even overtime, yeah, assisted Chronicle with 3 of them. 3. Beast with 2 right there. Playmaker for Chronicle. Absolutely love it.
Yeah, and you think about the story of Chronicle that we've seen so far today, Tugboat, right? They scored every goal in game 1. Now they've assisted 3 of them. So this might just be the player to take the spotlight, whether it is scoring or assisting the goals. They're teeing it up, they're dropping it down. Now, if we're going to talk about a highlight reel, though, Tugboat, it has been Carr on this Northern Arizona University team. This guy had a perfect top corner slot earlier in that game, and then had the clutch factor for that amazing overtime shot. And whoa, well, how about this, Tugboat? We're dropping in about 7 seconds in this game number 3 to already another goal for Northern Arizona.
And it's Chronicle behind that. Let me know if you're surprised. I'll pinch you and you can wake up here, Pyro. Oh my goodness. It's like 7 seconds in. I mean, obviously this doesn't happen by themselves, right? We saw the pass, we saw the demo and stuff like that. This is a 3-person effort. But still, just the simple fact that they can get it done, perhaps it's just a little bit of a warm-up factor here for Northern Arizona before they really get the engine started.
I think LMU, they're going to be pinching themselves for a different reason here if they don't win one of these games. You can see they're still pushing for it. This was a great capitalization here from Double. Look at the speed as well in the shot. Are you kidding me? 98 miles per hour? Is that real? That is very quick for just a single shot there. Nevertheless, it's incredible work out of this team to capitalize, but think of how many times LMU has equalized, right? Tied up the game.
Yep.
Over and over and over. They'll be kicking themselves if they don't actually take a win this series.
I feel like that is a mentality that you have to like adopt because you're down like early, right? Because you're getting scored on first and you have to come back. But what I want to see is an LMU squad, and they enjoyed a lead for a little while there in game number 2. But what I want to see is NAU playing from behind, right? LMU playing with an actual like 2-score difference, something like that. Obviously, it's easy to say like, oh, just score multiple times, like here and early, you score more goals than them. But it's a situation that becomes untenable after a certain period of time. Obviously not today, though, because we've seen 2 overtimes.
We've seen the 2 OTs. We've seen demos flying over and over again. Pufferfish Sky having the majority of the demolitions in the last game, mind you, so keep an eye out for him if you want to see more explosions. But I think the goal explosions are coming from someone in particular. The second now for Double.
I call them Double for a reason right here. 1 and 2, feed me. I want all 10 nuggies. Fantastic stuff here for Loyola Marymount. A lead, that's exactly what we're talking about, right? 90 seconds into this one, shaping up, maybe not to be as okay, I thought I'd have to call that one a triple-double. Well, that's a serve up to Pufferfish Guy. Fantastic stuff as I feel like I called it. I realized I said it like it was like kind of incredulous a little bit. Oh, they just need a 2-score lead. Well, Loyola gets it together and they find that in their pockets.
Yeah, I'm almost a bit afraid of the power you wield, Tugboat, because that's a little bit scary that you just mentioned that. If you really want LMU to win here, you keep talking them up, but LMU, they've got to also follow it up with the plays, and what it's been all about in this game number 3 is capitalization. NAU, some very uncharacteristic mistakes, not only on defense, but on the shot taking as well. They have 1 open net miss. That's Chronicle on the miss for the wave dash to line themselves up for the shot, but it's always Carr to follow up and smooth things over.
Always Carr. Getting this done, that's spitting distance away from mid-pitch right there. And Killer Moth has got to be kicking themselves for not realizing the angle at which this ball was coming in. Had an honest defensive capability right there. Unfortunately was not able to get a handle onto this one. Demo for LMU, 2v3. As of right now, almost gets it done right there. A double commit, but LMU coming screaming down the other way. Double! Almost gets their 3rd.
Almost does, but have to work a little harder for it here. Here's a shot and potential double tap here. Chronicle sets it down for a teammate. And Killer Moth finds the rebound. Here's another rebound from Beast. NAU fighting, crashing boards, getting every chance that they can. The next goal at their 3rd to tie this ball game up. They can feel it. They've said this entire game has been tied. We have to do it again.
Nicely done there from Killer Moth. Also, Pyro, I wasn't sure if I heard it earlier. You just heard the most beautiful sounds nature has. And that is players yelling at each other on LAN. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. They're getting real lit and happy there at the CECC West.
Yeah, I can't tell if it's some of the players, some of the crowd members shouting. I thought maybe it was even a mom shouting for their kid, you know, saying, go, shoot, come on. And I'd be saying the same thing if I were a fan of NAU. That was 3, 4, maybe even 5 shots in a row, and they still couldn't tie it up. But lucky for them, time's on their side. 90 seconds still left in this game for them to catch the sweep.
So it actually puts this past Killer Moth right there, and in their efforts just to get it to a teammate and do something fancy, they give up possession right here. Last line of defense is Chronicle. Gonna be really happy they were able to get that one in. Now a shot. Killer Moth should have anticipated and does. Nice. Okay, whip around right here. Chronicle loses the 50 to the middle. Double. Gets a little bit of a flatter hit on this Pyro. I think we're looking at the 6th score of this game number 3.
We are, and go figure, the goals are just getting racked up here in 50 seconds. We have had a goal in the last minute, I think, for each game so far, so I'm almost expecting this one to come, and I just don't know which side. It's been so close for either team here, and I might have the advantage off that 50, but Pufferfish is the one to read it. It's long clear, but punished with their life. Hold on, a misread there for LMU. Opens up the lane for Northern Arizona. Shot gets denied. Another one put forward and sent away by LMU.
Nicely done. LMU is going to want to spend the last bit of this 20 seconds in the offensive side of the pitch, leaving a player back to catch any wayward errant balls that might come back and try to force their hand into overtime. There's some physical play attempt. You saw 2 NAU members coming in for physical play attempts, bumps, demos, whichever. Both get it done. Rule 0 now engaged. Northern Arizona, excuse me. And that might have been it. Nope. Okay, we're going to see a little bit of a longer series here, PyroJ.
I was on the edge of my seat, though, Tugboat. Did you see how that one wrapped up? We had a Northern Arizona player just dive in to keep the ball alive. And the ball bounced off the backboard onto the little lip of the backboard in the ground that actually keeps it alive. Yeah, we're working with the thinnest of margins here to keep the ball game alive, and as well to see who is winning these games. Loyola Marymount, how about a breath, a sigh of relief, even if momentary, to finally get themselves a win?
Where my eyes have to be drawn to here, Loyola Marymount, 5 saves. Northern Arizona, goose egg, nothing. Every shot that was put up, 3 total shots across and distributed as evenly as you can across these Loyola members. Every single one went in. That's yeah, that was 1 for Double, 1 for Killer Moth, and 1 for Pufferfish guy. You really cannot ask more from a squad. Like, you ask, hey, we want well-rounded. We want each of you to come forth and do your best efforts at the very, very front, right there, scoring in the middle, trying to pass this ball around, set up plays, get physical stuff going, or even in the back, trying to play goalie positions. That is exactly what we look for right here, and that is what Loyola pulled out here in this game number 3. That is serious momentum going for them.
And they had momentum in game 3 when they got the 2-goal lead that you were asking for as well. So LMU able to establish a long lead and a win. Could track well for a potential game 5.
Killer Moth got their work cut out for them. Beats the wings, gets to it. Loyola wrapping around. Now everybody should be in the defensive stance, and they are. Defensive stance transferred into offensive stance now. I want the player back. This Pufferfish guy tries to get it to a teammate.
Push that to Chronicle. Read off the side wall. And Chronicle's just trying to keep LMU on their toes. These reads off the side wall are becoming much more consistent in Rocket League gameplay to the point where players are expecting it, but it's still very difficult to produce. So to do that today, this kind of pressure on LAN is really good news for Chronicle. Ways to mechanically move around this ball, but how about the 1v1 on the other side? I think Beast a little more height on that ball, grabbing some height though as NAU as they still push forward.
You can feel the pulse of this match has just gone down by about 100 beats per minute. Is this an open net? No, double always there. This was off the demo as well, if I'm right. I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah, I'm pretty sure double got eliminated and then spawned up right there. And because they were demoed, not on the other side of the pitch, they were able to be in position to make a play.
Talked about the decisions that go behind demoing somebody. You've got to be very conscious of whether it's going to be advantage or disadvantage for your team. Marymount and double both getting around that. NAU, they've done this plenty in this game and the last game of setting up camp in their opponent's stage, but failing to finish on their chances. Chronicle's going to put that all to bed, though.
Nicely done. First blood drawn here from Chronicle, and I must say, at 3 minutes and 13 seconds, this took a lot longer than our previous. Going back to my statement just made, guys. The pace of this game has come down a whole lot. Expect the rest of these goals to be like hard fought for, frequently passed beforehand, earned all the way through. Down to the bottom, Beast tries to get past 2. Back to the middle of the pitch we go. 51 here. I'll send way back to the other side, and it's just a mad scramble to try and get on top of this one. Double tap. Not gonna happen.
I love that idea, though. They're so close to putting that down. But I love what you mentioned as well about the pace of this game. I think the reason for that is we've been seesawing so much because of unpredictable factors. How players will perform on land, what they can respond to in terms of the strategy and the tactics taken by their opponents. Now that that's all sort of settled, you have this respect between both teams. You don't have this 6 or 7 point game, right, Tugboat? You instead have players kind of expecting certain plays out of the other and trying to best them just in those little 50-50s that we saw right now.
And it's indicative of our overall scoreline. So 1 score difference, obviously, between overtimes in Game 1 and Game 2. A 3-2 win, another 1 score difference in Game number 3. Staring down the barrel of a 1 score difference as of right now in a relatively low-scoring game. A game that has about 2 minutes left. Tries to come up to it. Moth. This is a really dangerous ball. Double gets an opportunity at a first hit, a second hit, and then is finally cleared. Northern Arizona, I feel like, there you go. Yeah, I feel like this is going to be their first offensive possession in a couple minutes. Maybe not that long.
And look how long it lasted. About 5 seconds or so. There's something to be said by what LMU are putting forward right now. Tremendous control and dominance in terms of the field, but not the goals, right? That's the issue. NAU appearing to be the more resilient team this time around, and if that continues for another minute or so, they're going to take this win.
Yeah, they have to know it, and I mean, exiting with a 3-1 loss isn't terrible. Obviously, you know, as far as losses go, second best thing that can happen. Well, Beast just puts in the second one, right? Or no, excuse me, that was Chronicle on the first, Beast on the second here, but a second goal for Northern Arizona, and this is going to be a situation that is going to be a little bit harder to dig out of.
Just watch a YouTube video on the big mistakes of Rocket League history, and sometimes even the best players can't make that perfect touch that they're looking for. That was a goal line flub that's going to put NAU very much ahead in this game when you consider the time. Just 48 seconds remaining on this clock. NAU now pressuring LMU, almost getting that third goal, and now LMU, you've got to move forward. You've got to find this first goal. That one's just off the mark.
So, I mean, try as they might, possess the ball they did. LMU unable to put anything up, and but blink and you'll miss it. 30 seconds left in this one. And we're looking at a 2-score lead. A 2-score difference. See how this is ployed into something. I feel like LMU gets at least one here. Turns this up. It's been a 1-score difference every time. A little tap or a little slow roll. Not going to happen. No third player there for Northern Arizona.
Goodness, it was so close, but now with 5 seconds remaining, Northern Arizona University, we can sing your praises. A hard-fought battle with 2 overtime victories, and finally your third coming in game number 4. This team looking incredible on land, Tugboat.
Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. We talked about all the factors that goes into having a well-rounded LAN team. Well, Northern Arizona, they might have dropped a single game right there, but this really was just Loyola coming back in a lot of ways and really just getting together the teamwork. And you really, really can't be surprised when that teamwork makes the dream work. 3-1 victory here for the 5th seed, right? Like there was like an on paper, oh, 4th seed, 5th seed. This is as close as it gets. And we saw how the differences shook out between these two, shaked out between these two teams.
Joined by Carr, a freshman player for the NAU roster. So first and foremost, something you just told me that we got to get out of the way early. First ever LAN game just played.
Yeah, it's well, I mean, obviously coming into it all nervous. The guys were telling me to calm down, play what I know, do what I know, and just keep going and do what we practice. So in the end, I believe we did that, and that's how we came on top.
Absolutely, and coming into this, being that freshman, coming in with 2 players that had made it not just, through a qualifier, but to Texas last year, had made it to the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup. How do you feel kind of coming into this, being that new variable, that wild card?
Well, I mean, they're amazing players, both of them are. I give them a lot of credit, and they've been very patient with me, keeping me up to speed. I will say there's a lot of pressure on me. We did agree that this was just a kind of like a learning experience this whole semester. Next semester, we're trying to, actually go for every single thing, win every single game, and compete to our highest level. But as of right now, I do feel a lot of weight on my shoulders, and just winning this game and scoring that amazing beauty kind of lifted a lot of that off of my shoulders. So I feel great right now. I feel like the team feels great. It's our first landing win, so.
And I was just about to ask that too. Did winning make the weight worse, or did it take it off the shoulders? Because you come in and you have those nerves of performing. Maybe it's not going to work out well, but you guys come in, you win in a pretty solid fashion. Like you said, a couple of really good game-ending plays. So do you think more confident going into game 2? Have the nerves gotten a little bit worse just because you're one game further into the series? How are you feeling about it?
I personally feel like I'm more settled. I'm less stressed. I'm more confident. I believe the whole team is as well. I mean, I'm the freshman. I should be nervous, but I do feel great. We should all feel great. It's a very good victory.
Good victory indeed. A great upset win. Congratulations, man. Best of luck to you for the rest of the weekend.